Today we have the 2013 Cadillac SRX in the shop. We will be doing the clutch on the AC compressor. So I was considering doing the whole compressor, but I saw that it was pretty common for these clutches to fail. So we're just gonna do the clutch. So we got number 2 Phillips all the way around the bottom and front edge of the shield. Looks like this bumper cover was damaged, so the threads just came right out with it. We got Phillips on the back along the rocker. Three Phillips there. And then we have 1, 2, 3 push clips. I'll be using this tool. One up top. In there pretty tight. Now we have another clip going out this way. Push the middle. Out to make it a little bit easier. We got another one right there. So there's one in the middle. There's also one on the top. Got a 13 millimeter here and electrical connector. Actually, that doesn't need to come all the way out. It only needs to be loosened. So the whole thing is slotted. All right, we got a 15 millimeter bolt and 15 millimeter nut. That should kind of should come forward and you should be able to slide it off the nut. But there's an electrical connector on top of it, which you can't see. The electrical connector for the coil. Alright, so it's a number 2 Phillips, holding the wire in place. And then the electrical connector is identical to the one that was on the bottom. Alright, so we got the same number 2 bit that we used on the wheel well liner. A little mini ratchet. Okay, got it unplugged. Like I said, it's the same kind of plug. Okay, and then it just kind of slides off backwards. Now we just got to get that. Still got to get that Phillips screw. Alright, so I'm going to try to clean the top of the screw. Brake clean and a wire brush. Alright, so we're going to pull out the stud. There's a E8. Yeah, not tight at all. So I'm supporting the weight of the compressor with one hand. There we go. Oh, look at that view. Nice. So that's the screw we're working on. Right at the tip of my finger. There. So I'm going to try to grab it with a small vice grips, I think. Nope, sorry, it's the other one. Right there. That one. So the other one, the farther one, holds the bracket that kind of holds this on. Let him see it better and get more room for my hands. I'm just going to try this one more time. Yeah, it's cammed pretty bad. Looks like that's not gonna work. Yeah, so I suggest if you guys are gonna try to go in there with a Phillips, clean it off good first before even trying once. Oh, that works beautifully. Maybe now that it's broken loose. that. Still, ain't slow. Wish I had an even smaller vice grips. Oh, once the screw's a little loose, it lets the metal bracket spin. Nice. Alright. That's done. Now we just gotta get the clutch done. I'm gonna try to do it with the AC compressor back in place. I'm guessing this is going to be a 13. Definitely smaller than a 15. Usually these are pressed on. Sometimes they're a little easier to get off. Oh, it's coming. Nice. Alright, now we got a snap ring there. Oh boy. Not the best of spots. Oh, so close. There we go. Nice. This is pretty loose too. We got another snap ring in there. Oh boy. Alright, so I'm going to have to take the compressor off again and kind of angle it more this way in order to get my snap ring pliers in there. Every time my hand is in here, it blocks my light. Nice. Nice, got it anyways. Boom. There we go. Alright, so now we're hopefully the new one doesn't give us more trouble than taking the old one off. So if it doesn't have, if your new magnet doesn't have any kind of protective sleeve right like this, you want to put something on there, but you want to make sure, you know, whatever, you don't want the wires touching this clamp right here. You want to make sure there's some sort of protective sleeve. Alright. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Of course it's not. So the left side is in. I gotta knock the right side back a little bit. Sorry, my head's in your way. Oh no, I just took it out. Keeps trying to twist. Alright, now it's at least fully spread. I just gotta, it's not really on the edge like it was before, so I should be able to just push it on now. Good, it's like a little bit loose on this. Alright, now this can slide on here. Oh, was I blocking you the whole time? Alright. That's on. So this won't go any farther, so we gotta wait to plug that in until after the compressor's back in place. I'm gonna quick. Alright. So now we're gonna tighten the screw for the wire clamp. It was only rounded in the loosening direction, so shouldn't give any trouble here. That's tight. So now is it going to be easier to do the rest with a loose or tight? Actually, you know what? I don't think the bottom of that clamp is on all the way. There we go. It was not. Now it's nice and tight in place. Okay. So yeah, if your magnets, I'm sorry, I was blocking you again. So the bottom of my clip wasn't fully in place. So now that it's in place, the magnet is solid. So next, we got the pulley. sure you're not rubbing the wires. We're gonna try it loose again. That one was easy peasy. Alright, so now we gotta make sure this is shimmed properly. So here's the old shim. We gotta make sure at about 10 thousandths. Come on, I keep blocking you guys. Alright, so the old shim was still on the shaft. Just took it off. We got to make sure the gap between this and the clutch, when this is all tightened on, we're going to make sure that this surface is about 10 thousandths away. If it's too big, you're going to end up with a it's end up not engaging properly after it wears down a little bit. If it's too small, then it's gonna grind whenever it's not engaged. First, we are gonna get the compressor mounted for this step. Put it back on the bolt. See that feel? And we shouldn't have to take the compressor out again. So this is going all the way on. Tighten this one first. I gotta clean off the face of this because I got a bunch of gunk on it. So this is with no shims, and this is probably gonna rub. Yep. So it's without even any actuation. It's rubbing it. So. Alright, I just cleaned it off with some brake clean. So this 22 thousandths. This was the original. I'm just gonna try it with this one and just see where it ends up. So it's not turning the pulley anymore, which is good. We're going to make sure it's close enough now. Take our feeler gauges. There's 10 thousandths. So 10 thousandths is like struggling to get in there. Let's try the 8. 8's going in. I'm gonna see if we have a shim that's got a couple more thousandths on it. If we don't, we'll just stick with this one. Should be just fine. There's no hint of rubbing at all. So, alright, so the shims that came in the new, came with a new clutch were both 20 thousandths. So they were a hair thinner than the old one. And definitely don't want a thinner one. And I don't want to add 20 thousandths either. So we're going to stick with what we got. So now tighten this up. The whole clutch works well. And when you're measuring the gap, you should do it with a nut on here. You should use the old nut, because once you put the new nut on with a new nylon ring, it's technically a one-use nut. So once you put the new nut on, you don't want to be taking it off again. There we go. Still no rubbing. If we check the gap again, it might have decreased a hair. We'll see if the 8 still fits. It does. Okay. And it could be that when I was holding it on with my hand, I was tilting it a little bit. I'm going to see how much is actually... Okay, so the 10 is going in actually, but barely. 11... I think we have 12 thousandths. Yeah, 12 thousandths. So that's right about where we want it. We just got to get the. So we got to plug in up here. Plug in down here. From the view we had under the car. Tighten the 13mm bolt. And we got to get the belt back on. Hopefully it stayed in place enough. We can just, oh yeah. Look at that. Sweet. We just got to tighten that 13 and we're all done. Alright, so I got the car on the ground now, or near the ground. I'm going to start the car. When the car starts initially, this should be staying still. And then shortly after, I'm going to turn on the air conditioning and then it should start spinning. So there we go, we got working air conditioning.